Shadows of love, jealousy can breed darkness. This is a chilling tale of a man whose obsession spiraled into a fatal act of betrayal, leaving a trail of heartbreak and tragedy in its wake. Once, Sarah and Jake were inseparable, the epitome of young love, filled with dreams and laughter. Their days were marked by shared adventures and whispered secrets. But as time passed, the initial spark faded, replaced by resentment and jealousy. Jake became increasingly possessive, unable to accept that their relationship was deteriorating. When Sarah finally found courage to end things, she thought freedom awaited her. Instead, she discovered a new beginning with Mark, a kind-hearted man who brought laughter back into her life. Jake, however, was not ready to let go. The specter of their relationship haunted him, gnawing at his heart and mind. He became consumed by thoughts of Sarah and Mark together. Each moment they shared igniting a fire of rage within him. Jake's obsession deepened as he began to stalk them, lurking in the shadows. Every time he saw them together, a darkness boiled within him, twisting his love into something sinister. Friends noticed his change, the way his laughter faded, replaced by a brooding silence. But Jake dismissed their concerns, convinced that Sarah was his and that he deserved another chance. One fateful night, the confrontation came. Sarah and Mark exited a bar, joy radiating from them as they laughed and enjoyed each other's company. Jake, hidden in the shadows, felt the familiar surge of jealousy clawing at his insides. The moment had arrived, and he felt a rush of adrenaline mixed with dread. As he stepped into the light, the air thickened with tension. Sarah's laughter faded as she recognized a man she once loved, now a stranger consumed by rage. Mark instinctively moved closer to Sarah, protective, unaware of the storm brewing in Jake's heart. In that instant, everything hung in the balance. Jake's expression hardened, the conflict within him palpable. He pulled out a weapon, a chilling act fueled by the darkness that had taken root in his soul. Sarah's eyes widened in horror as she realized the gravity of the moment. What started as an emotional confrontation quickly escalated into a nightmare, and she felt time slow as the world around her blurred. A gunshot rang out, piercing the night. The sound echoed like a death knell, shattering the fragile peace that had reigned in Sarah's life. In the blink of an eye, a life was taken, and a future irrevocably altered. The chaos that followed was surreal. The wail of sirens, the cries of onlookers, and the sharp scent of fear in the air. Jake was apprehended, his face a mask of disbelief as he was led away in handcuffs. In the aftermath, Sarah was left grappling with the horror of what had transpired. Tears streamed down her face as she realized that love, in its darkest form, could lead to violence. The weight of grief settled heavily on her shoulders. Days turned into weeks, and as she tried to piece her life back together, Sarah received a chilling letter from Jake while he awaited trial. It was filled with twisted confessions of love and regret, revealing the depths of his obsession. Her heart raced as she read his words, each line a reminder of the man she once knew and the monster he had become. With the trial approaching, Sarah began to receive unsettling messages from unknown numbers, threats that sent shivers down her spine. Was Jake orchestrating something from behind bars? Who else was involved in this tangled web of obsession? As the trial date loomed closer, Sarah faced the unthinkable. Would she be safe? Could Jake have followers who shared his dark desire? And what secrets lay hidden in the shadows of their past? As the trial date approached, Sarah felt an unease settle deep within her. The letters from Jake had become more frequent, each one a haunting reminder of the man she once loved and the darkness he had embraced. The chilling words echoed in her mind, blurring the lines between love and madness. In the days leading up to the trial, Sarah found herself looking over her shoulder, feeling the weight of unseen eyes on her. The unsettling messages continued to flood her phone, each one more cryptic than the last. "I'm always watching," one read, sending a cold shiver down her spine. Fear gripped her as she wondered if Jake was orchestrating something sinister from behind bars. Determined not to be paralyzed by fear, Sarah sought help from a therapist, hoping to reclaim her sense of safety. During their sessions, she began to confront her feelings of guilt and anger. The counselor urged her to focus on healing, but the thought of facing Jake in court loomed large. On the day of the trial, the courtroom was packed. Sarah entered, her heart racing as she took her seat. The air was thick with tension. She could feel the weight of the eyes around her, some filled with sympathy, others with curiosity. As the proceedings began, she struggled to maintain her composure, knowing that Jake's fate hinged on this moment. The prosecution laid out the case against Jake, detailing the events of that fateful night. Sarah listened, her emotions roiling as the memories flooded back. She fought to keep her tears at bay, knowing that her testimony would be crucial in securing justice. As she took the stand, the weight of the moment pressed down on her. She recounted the terror she felt, the anguish of losing Mark, the life they had started to build together. But just as she began to find her voice, a commotion erupted in the back of the courtroom. A figure burst through the doors, a familiar face that sent shockwaves through the room. It was Jake's brother, Alex, a man Sarah had once considered a friend. He pushed past bailiffs, his eyes wild with desperation. "You have to listen," he shouted, his voice breaking the tense silence. "Jake isn't the monster you think he is." Gasps echoed throughout the courtroom. Sarah's heart raced as she tried to process the chaos unfolding before her. Alex pleaded for a chance to speak, claiming he had vital information that could change everything. The judge ordered him to be quiet, but the damage was done. Murmurs filled the room, uncertainty swirling like a storm. In the days that followed, Sarah was haunted by Alex's outburst. What could he possibly know? Was Jake manipulating him as well? The fear that had begun to subside re-emerged with a vengeance. Determined to uncover the truth, she reached out to Alex, agreeing to meet him in a public place, a local coffee shop, to hear him out. As Sarah arrived, her anxiety bubbled beneath the surface. The cafe was bustling, but her focus was solely on Alex. When he arrived, his expression was a mix of concern and urgency. "You need to understand," he began, his voice low. Jake wasn't himself. He's been struggling for years, mental health issues no one knew about. He didn't mean for any of this to happen. Sarah felt a surge of conflicting emotions. Could it be true? Was Jake a victim of his own mind? Or was this merely an excuse for his actions? The weight of her decision pressed down on her. As they spoke, Alex revealed more about Jake's struggles, depression, isolation, and a growing sense of paranoia that had escalated over time. He recounted moments where Jake had spiraled into dark thoughts, often fixating on Sarah and their past. "He thought he was protecting you," Alex insisted. "He believed that if he couldn't have you, no one could." Sarah's heart ached at the revelation, but anger bubbled just beneath the surface. "That doesn't excuse what he did," she exclaimed, her voice trembling. "Mark is gone because of him. I can't forgive that." The conversation took a turn when Alex revealed that Jake had been receiving letters from someone while in jail. Letters that hinted at a plan to escape and confront Sarah once more. Fear clawed at her throat. "You have to warn the authorities," she urged, panic rising in her chest. As she left the cafe, her mind raced with the implications of Alex's words. She immediately contacted the police, urging them to investigate the letters and increase security around her. But as she left the station, a chilling thought struck her. What if Jake had already found a way to manipulate the situation, even from behind bars? Days turned into a blur of anxiety and dread. The trial resumed, but Sarah was no longer just a victim. She was a target. Each time she entered the courtroom, she felt Jake's presence looming over her like a dark cloud. Then, just when she thought she might find clarity, she received a letter that sent her heart racing. It was addressed to her, written in Jake's familiar scrawl. "I'm coming for you, Sarah. You can't hide. I will always love you." A chill ran down her spine. In that moment, she realized the depths of his obsession. The trial was far from over, and the real nightmare was just beginning. As the courtroom drama unfolded, Sarah found herself caught in a web of manipulation and fear. With Jake's fate hanging in the balance and Alex's revelations weighing heavily on her mind, she faced an impossible choice: to expose the truth about Jake's struggles or to seek justice for Mark. The question lingered like a specter. Would she find the strength to confront her past, or would Jake's obsession consume her once and for all? Stay tuned for part 3, where the final confrontation unfolds and secrets long buried come to light.